What's up? It's not necessarily off topic or off beat. It's just one of those moments where it's one of those subjects you feel like you have to kind of talk about a little bit. There are people out there who think that they can cheat on you whenever they want, leave you whenever they want, gaslight you to get a certain reaction so they have an excuse to leave whenever they want. Because I already know about, yeah. The problem is when they cheated, one of their tricks had messaged me on 3 different profiles. And when I paid attention to where that trick had lived in the past and so forth, it's like they were fucking following us all throughout the years. It's really fucking weird. Down to the point, the guy used to show up at my work at Little Amsterdam. He was a customer. See, he's also a friend, kind of a Facebook friend with somebody else that I used to work with. What she did is she didn't just damage the relationship between my children and I, let alone permanently damaged any type of respect I have for her. I mean, I already expect at some point there's going to be some sort of, hey, can we make amends, blah, blah, blah. No, there's not going to be amends made. Their second chance was when they showed up at that hospital acting like they were my fucking wife. And because nobody would tell me will tell me the truth around what happened there at the fucking hospital, this is why part of me feels like, there was a lot of people involved in what happened there, even to my marriage. Like, there's more to it than I could ever put together. But I got to a point I was like, I don't have the energy for that. I don't want to anymore. And someone comes back in your life, and then they're trying to hook up with some dude at their first job that they get. I don't know what people they tried to hook up through college when we were going to school. The tattoo guy, which she's done repeatedly. Her old high school friend. I can go down a list of people. She got outright caught cheating. To tell me one day she loves me, kisses me goodbye, kisses me bye, that she's got to go to the doctors, and then all of a sudden she's magically, basically 45 minutes away at a time it was not possible for her to really leave and get that far that fast. It's because she used her friends, and her friends helped her. Her friends have been helping her every time. See, every time she went to her friend's house and she'd say she didn't have reception, it's because her friends are helping cover for her ass to cheat. Shows what kind of shitty people they are. I mean, what can you expect from a woman who treats her Jesus-looking husband like a little bitch and a house bitch? Nobody can touch him but her. I hear all about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if those two are passing her around too. Because they would never have reception, and she'd say, oh, we don't get reception in the garage, but she can video call me from inside their garage and have her sister wife sit there and go, hi, like they're rubbing it in. I already picked up on everything that was going on back then. I may be able to forgive this person because not everybody can be born with a brain, let alone a heart. And clearly she wasn't born with either, and same with her fucked up friends. And she's been doing more than just, her medication and smoking weed. It's been evident. When I started looking back on some of the pictures, that I still had before deleting them, some of them I actually still have. Her eyes are dilated like a motherfucker. I also realized some of those pictures weren't just sent to me. When somebody gets driven into the ground physically, they get to a point they're working 2 jobs. You come into their life knowing they're disabled. You come into their life when they have no clue what's going on. And then all of you fucked with my head when I came out of that hospital. And I wonder how many people, when they found out the truth on what was going on, or what bits they knew the truth of, that's why I got ghosted by them, because I couldn't take part in this bullshit. I have a lot of questions, and yes, I'm feeling crazy about it, because I'm looking at all of it going, okay, this just is some fucked up shit. This entire thing, since I woke up in that hospital to now, has been some really fucked up shit. It's been like a really long, drawn out, really fucked up situation that only in hindsight can you sit back and go, this shit, unless this was like the entire thing was planned, there's no way anybody could have fucking kept doing this shit over and over and over again by accident. It's because they knew how I felt about them and they took advantage of me. On multiple levels. That's what narcissists do. Yeah, I know. You guys agree, don't you? Huh, Peeper and Turkey Boy? You guys agreeing? But they left me when we moved out of Canby, when she fucked around with their friend. She had a toy that she used to keep in her pillowcase, and one day she threw her toy out because she sat there and tried saying I gave her shit. No, it's because she fucked around with her friend. Her friend Tia and her were fucking around. And that's why she turned on me. And ever since, things got really bad. Because she wanted to be a single girl, but wanted to have a sugar daddy who fucking carried her fucking ass along. She didn't want to commit to a relationship, and yet she would hold over my head that I wouldn't marry her. Why? Why? Because the way I was being treated. I was in fear that if I married that woman, she'd take me for everything. And you know what? She proved me right on that, when she lied and kept throwing me in jail for shit I didn't do, and she kept trying to take my house, telling the courts that she's my wife. That was just a couple years ago. Over the last 2 years, I've been going. Things got worse and worse. It was over the last 5 years that things really went to hell. In the last 2 years, I came to a point. I don't know how many times I wanted to swallow a bullet because of her, and the shit she's caused, and the fact that I have a gut feeling that that person, because she sent me that email, kind of testing the waters, thinks, because I know they watch these things. They think that at some point that when I calm down or I relax, it might be easy to talk to me then about whatever. No, I won't talk to her until she publicly apologizes and tells everybody what she's fucking done. Tells everybody that she fucking lied about me. Tells the fucking truth. I don't ever want to see her face within 100 feet of me. That woman destroyed my life to get where she's at. And all she's had is nothing but a history of abusing people around her and taking advantage of them, manipulating them. And the fact that she's got a married couple of fucking flying monkeys that are dumb as shit, who would sit in their fucking garage bragging about getting away with doing dope while pregnant. And we're talking meth. That was my first introduction to her wonderful friend, Bray, who has a lot of wisdom and great advice, which I feel helped her along in some of this process. Because once she gets people to think that I'm a piece of shit and gets me to dislike her friends, we want nothing to do with each other. So then she's got free reign to do whatever she wants. I had already been picking up on all the shit that she was doing since the time she first left me when we got that house. And the only reason why we got that house is because all she would do is talk shit. I already know my oldest son helped cover her ass when it came to the tattoo artist, when they went up alone, knowing I did not want her up there. Knowing how I felt about it, she didn't give a shit. I now know why that marriage fell apart in full, because those two were fucking around. I am not going to attach myself to somebody who has got that long ass history of being that shitty of a human being and blaming everyone else for it. Just within from the time we got into that house By April the following year, she had already left me 5 times. How many second chances does somebody need? I was taken advantage of big time. And when I ended up going through that other shit, she knew that if she'd used the COVID bullshit and that she had nowhere to go, her mom and them basically told her to go fuck herself and just dumped her there at her friend's house. You know, that she needed help, all this stuff, that, you know, her friend Bray and them would only let her eat some frozen Stouffer's lasagnas. That's all she could eat the entire time. And then her friend, you know, her friend's husband told her, you know, why are you still around, you know, when nobody wants you around down here, that type of shit. She talked some shit about them, and I want to question how much of that was true. She's been playing people like a fiddle, and I wonder how many actually are now had started taking part in it. I already know both my kids are taking part of it. I mean, I've already caught I've already caught both my kids in a lie already. In a couple. And my youngest knows that I'm still going to be nice to him no matter what. I'm still going to love him no matter what. I'm still going to talk to him no matter what. But he needs to realize that he's on radar too for me. He's a part of the reason why I'm leaving, and I know he wants that. That's why I made it clear to him, you know, that I'm already aware that everybody that's been around this entire fucking time hate me, and that's why I'm leaving. This includes him, his brother, their moms, their families, all of them, because of the amount of shit they talked. Because of Melissa. Watch out, turkey. And I got all these turkeys begging for attention right now. But, okay, you know, I just don't want anybody getting this idea thinking that I'm going to let them come back or talk to me again. And like I said, they ever show up at any point between now and moving, I won't just call the cops on them. I will record the entire thing, and I will post it right on YouTube. And I won't talk to her. I will let her say whatever she has to say, and she's going to say it to everybody because it'll be going public. That's why I don't want her here. I don't want to know anymore. I already know enough. I already put enough together. I was lied to pretty bad. I know her mother was a part of it. All of them were a part of this. Every fucking one of them. And that's why I can't even trust I've already had enough trust issues with my folks, but I've always stuck by them no matter what, because this is my parents. I do love them. You know, they may have treated me like shit, but I can give them the credit. They taught me enough morals to not do the shit that person does. I'm ready to move on. I've been long ready to move on. I've been tired of being alone. I've been tired of telling that fucking person that I'm tired of feeling like I'm just a roommate. I'm just a live-in maintenance man that's there to cook for them and clean whenever I can and do upkeep and repairs on the property. That's all I felt like for the last 5 fucking years. And not once did they give a shit. They just sit there and tell me, oh, don't say that. Really? Because that's what you've been doing. You've been fucking other people, and then you can't understand why I wouldn't touch you after a while. Because I already knew. The kids gave it away. Your shit gave it away. All of it gave it away. When somebody gets cheated on enough in life, they pick up on that shit real fast. And I don't know how many times I caught you talking to other people. You want to hoe yourself through life like your mom did. Follow those footsteps. Because what you get in life isn't necessarily going to be there when you're gone. And karma is genuinely a bitch. We've all gotten it. And I don't hate you. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you, but I'm leaving it in God and karma's hands to deal with you. I just hope you don't actually end up with somebody that actually treats you the way that you kept lying to everybody about me on. What can I do? I don't like making these types of messages, but I also don't like knowing the patterns and habits of somebody that I've known since I was 14 years old and have to realize that I have to question every single fucking moment I've ever been around you since we were 14, 15 years old. The only way any type of verbal communication will ever happen is when you actually publicly tell people the fucking truth. And I don't see it ever happening. Same thing with our son and my son and every fucking one of you. Until then, I want nothing to do with you. I'm looking for somebody better because, you know, in all honesty, the amount of fucking commitment, love, loyalty, everything I put into this relationship that I thought was a relationship, when we talk about two-way streets, I deserve better. I gave blood, sweat, tears, my physical fucking health, my mental health, my spiritual health, every ounce of my being, I gave up for this fucking relationship to be constantly thrown away. And as soon as I start to get back on my feet, I start to feel better, they want to pop around again. A classic fucking narcissistic abuser. There are other words for those types of people. I have spent a lot of time, especially outside of being alone, 90% of the fucking time the last 5 years. On average, 20 hours a fucking day. Minus that once a month I got to come up and visit with my family for 3 days, 2 nights. So I basically got a 2 days to go visit my buddy that I've known since I was in first grade. And 2 days to try and visit with my dad and my mom. Let alone with my mom being in the hospital or being where she's at after strokes, to have time to try and help my dad with that too. And then get to leave home maybe once a week if I'm lucky. And if I'm not back within a couple hours, that's when my phone starts getting blown up. But when I go to start contacting them, oh, I'm sorry, I don't get reception. I'm not stupid. I play stupid. I may be unaware of certain intentions and certain things that go on around me, but the moment I start catching on, everything else starts falling into place. And all I wait for is that one bit of admittance. And that was admitted when you called and you told me there was someone else. And then you called the second time wanting to talk and you admitted there was someone else, which I recorded that, and that's on 2 different videos. Mrs. Moneybags. I mean, if you're hooking for homes, then you can stay where you're at, because I'm not fucking around with somebody who's been fucking around like that and putting my life and my health at risk of some form of STD, because, yeah, I don't trust any dirty bastards you've been fucking around with. You know what they say about small towns and when it comes to certain types of women. And I never thought you'd become one. I don't ever want to fucking see you or hear from you. I know you watch this shit, and I know I look like a fucking idiot talking about it like this on here. I don't like addressing this shit like this. Yet if it gets them and everyone around them to fucking see it and realize I'm fucking done with this shit. Might have won in the sense that I'm leaving Oregon, but I get a kick back and leave it in God and karma's hands. And I pray to God they go easy on you. I didn't deserve what I got. And the moment I ended up disabled and couldn't push myself while you're cracking that fucking whip, you all fucking treated me like absolute dirt and shit. There's a reason why I started playing, and that the moment you fucking did this to me again, the house was getting sold, and I was using the money to buy a fucking home I didn't have to fucking deal with all that shit in. I didn't have to deal with your shit, and I can fucking invest into a business, and in the process, maybe I can get lucky and find somebody that that might actually appreciate me for once, and a family that might actually want me around. I might actually find friends that are genuine friends. I might actually learn what real friends are, compared to what I've known as friends. And I've been slowly knowing other people that have shown me more friendship than people I've known for 20 years. There are people I have never met before that have shown more friendship and loyalty to that friendship, where I've only talked to them online, and I can name them right here. And if they end up watching these, they know who they are. They've been more loyal to this friendship than even my own children have been to their own family. Just like you. No, I'm gonna chase after my dreams for once. And my dreams have always been, it has always been not just to be able to run my own business that I could actually run, but something that I can do as a family. And clearly none of you were my family, which means I hope to, maybe God will give me the chance to find one that actually wants me there. I wanted to have a successful life, but I knew my limitations, and I couldn't keep pushing myself, and none of you gave a shit. That's what landed me in the fucking hospital with my spine the way it is. You guys were intentionally trying to get me to go crippled. And I'm supposed to somehow trust all of you. And this includes my kids and my own friends. I have no problem leaving at this point. I have no problems moving because that's what needs to be done. I'm done with it. I don't want explanations. I don't want to hear that fucking word "I'm sorry" ever again from any of you. Especially that person, because I heard it so fucking much and they just kept doing their shit no matter what. I don't care about having $1 million businesses. I just wanted something that I could do that could bring in a good income, that I could actually take care of my family. Something that I could run basically with my wife, but all that went down the drain. And somehow I've got to rekindle those dreams, rebuild that dream, and focus on it and go for it. Thankfully, over the last near 5 years, while I was being treated like shit, I was doing what I needed to do on that house and that property to get the value up enough so that I could take and reinvest that money into another home and start a business that I can afford. And if I end up with somehow a new family in the process there, thank you, God. I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of being alienated. But it's come to the point that I realize I can't really trust a whole lot of people at all right now that are around me. And leaving is going to be the best thing for me to do. What happens in time, happens in time. Because a good majority of the people I'm saying goodbye to, I got ran through really badly. And when I had nowhere to turn to, and the only place I had to turn to was God, that told me everything I needed to know. And that's why I want to move somewhere where there's more, in essence, there's more people like myself. That isn't necessarily out there to try and chase a fucking fad or look good just to get approval from their mommy. I don't give a shit if I got approval from my parents or not. All I want to know is that when I die, I can at least say that I did my absolute best. I don't want to say I tried. I want to say I did my best. And with this type of big fucking trip up, like I said, the forgiveness is given already. It's in God's hands and karma's hands to deal with all of you. And I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm focusing on what I need to, so I can at least, with what I have left of my life, can not only be able to try and enjoy what I had hoped for since I was a kid, because I didn't have one then either, but I'm hoping I can actually make other people happy for once. I used to have, I had a great time making people happy growing up, making people smile, all that. That's how I dealt with my shit from home. What I was dealing with behind closed doors at home with my own family. How I would deal with things with the way I was being treated by my classmates. Things are getting better. It's just I do have a lot of emotional and even mental healing to do. That's obvious. And I've been doing things very differently to how I've been dealing with this process. And a lot of it is typical stuff that most people know anyways. But I actually apply this shit. I don't rely on drugs. I actually find myself using less. And the only time I end up medicating with the cannabis, obviously, is before bed, usually. And early in the morning when I get up. When my back, the 2 times that my back is really at its worst. Every now and then midday. But otherwise, I keep myself functioning. I keep myself moving. And I do my best to do so. And because of the damages, I find myself stuck on my backside more than I'd like to be. And even then, I still force myself to get up and go. Otherwise, all that shit that got done at that house and all that property would have never been done. If I hadn't fought for that, couple times I got help like that, even though I got abandoned every fucking time, none of that would have gotten done. I got used. In fact, even my own children's own jealousies and anger and immature bullshit is brought in through this. And it's destroyed a family. It's destroyed a family. While they sit back and they want to think about themselves. No, I am looking forward to moving. I'm looking forward to changing everything that I can. And part of me feels like changing my fucking name altogether. Because it comes to that point, I don't want to be found. I don't want to be contacted by anybody like that. Or anybody around me that I'm literally walking away from. I love my friends and family, but I had to learn the hard way that those emotions were not genuine in return.